Hey everyone, this is Victor from Digital Web Solutions with Coffee with Experts. And today it will probably be one of the most viewed favorite conversation we ever had because Bo is here. And then you might ask, who's Bo? Bo is a co-founder from Sunday Scaries, and he's gonna tell you a little bit more about the things he do. Please, Bo, thank you for being here. You have the stage, you have the floor. Go on.
Thanks for having me, Victor. How do you want to kick off? The origin story or
Oh,
about Sunday
yeah.
Scaries, the name?
I mean, go with them both. Like just give
Okay.
your introduction to the people.
Yeah, so my background originally is in finance, hedge fund analysis, then went to hospitality, owned a couple bars and restaurants, and then moved into CBD. So kind of a diverse
Full crypto
background.
bro story, right?
Yeah, no crypto stops in there though.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then we came up with the name Sunday Scaries in 2016, 17, when we were launching the company, because a lot of the existing companies in the space were named Meta this or Canada that or CBD
Yes,
this.
yes.
Very ingredient based branding. And we wanted to make it fun. So Sunday Scaries is a term that, there's actually studies on this that by monster.com, by sleepjudge.com, by LinkedIn, that over 90% of millennials suffer from Sunday scaries. It's a
Yes.
great alliterative term for the anticipatory anxiety you feel on Sunday afternoon when the weekend is ending, the impending doom of Monday is upon us, school, work, responsibilities, errands,
Mhm.
scheduling. And we felt that that would really resonate with what we were trying, the problem that we were trying to create the solution for.
That's so
Which is
great.
the opposite. You have companies like Calm that invoke the solution feeling versus like you don't name a pain company, pain. And so it was a little counterintuitive, but we loved the
Okay.
name, so we ran
No,
with
the
it.
name is great. The name is great. Everything's great. And then again, we're talking about a pretty different market here. And that's
Yeah.
most of the things we're going to be talking about today. So, if you could let us know when and why did you start working with CBD? What happened? What was the moment you decided to shift for CBD?
Yeah, there was an inflection point. My business partner Mike and I were just super stressed out running a full service bar and restaurant. I think we had 52
Ah,
employees at the time. 16-hour days, 7 days a week, you're never off. You're
yeah,
getting calls at three in the morning because a dishwasher got in a fight. Um, right, just things you have to deal with.
yeah.
So we wanted something to take the edge off. Obviously, there's a lot of other vices in the hospitality world. We wanted something that wasn't simulating, but took that stress and anxiety away. So the inflection point was on a golf course. Our buddy Garrett gave us CBD. We loved it. We started taking it. This is 2017, and we didn't. When we searched to find a brand that would resonate with us at the time, we were 30 years old. We couldn't find a brand that we really felt we connected with. I guess
Hmm.
everything was kind of ingredient named, and so we started our own. Started manufacturing our own gummies as a side project, gave it out to our family and friends. Eventually, it started taking off. People really liked what they were tasting. And CBD was also new at the time, so it wasn't newsworthy. No one knew what it was. So it was really the initial marketing strategy was largely educational
Hmm.
versus actual marketing. It was what is CBD, and it kind of went from there.
And this campaigns about what is CBD, I've saw a lot of them actually now that I'm remembering. Back in Brazil, we do have a very strict policy in terms of CBD. Here in Portugal is way more open, but even so, you have several external factors when you consider the conversation regarding CBD, right? You have religion sometimes, you have some cultural shocks. So I understand that it can be quite difficult. And when talking about these early stages you were mentioning, currently we know that Google and Meta are super against promoting CBD things or any other adult market content, right? But how
Correct.
how was it back then when you started, and
It
how
was
did it
a
change?
dream
Okay.
because in early 2000, in end of 2017, early 2018, Facebook didn't even have policies against CBD because they didn't even know what it was. It
Okay.
was so new as a as an ingredient in the market. And of course, the 2018 Farm Bill passed in December, really kind of putting it in to the mainstream media. We would just advertise, gummies
Mm-hmm.
for anxiety on Facebook, driving to our product pages, and we scaled really, really quickly.
Okay.
Our first year, we went from basically zero to $2 million
Nice.
with a skeleton crew. Um, and then Facebook caught on, and then that's really when also at the time, influencer marketing was really in its infancy. So
Mm-hmm.
we'd have, influencers, creator wasn't a term back then, but we'd have influencers that would have 50,000, 100,000 followers. They'd be willing to post for $5, for per sale.
Mm-hmm.
And they would convert really well, because
Nice.
it just wasn't a thing where influencers were promoting brands. So between Facebook paid and Instagram organic, we really grew fast. And of course, that changed really quickly at the end of 2018, which brought a lot of challenges.
Okay.
CBD is virtually either prohibited or highly restricted on every major platform,
Yeah.
whether that's Google, Bing, whether that's, and then under Google you have YouTube and GDN, PPC. Amazon actually bids on our brand keyword and drives it to fake hemp oil
Oh,
products. There's a lot of difficulties there. We're not allowed on
yeah.
Twitch. TikTok is restricted. X is now cannabis friendly, but your primary ones are really difficult to get by. So
I see. I see. Well, you mentioned influencer marketing. We were actually talking right before the recording about how I worked in this market, and I can actually see it happening, especially in the US at the time that you were mentioning. Did you see a lot of success in like a specific region of the US with these influencers or
major metropolitan areas, it was always Chicago, LA, San
okay.
Diego, New York, Houston, Miami, or Houston, Dallas, and Miami. More progressive, forward-thinking,
Yes.
early adopter, technologically advanced areas. Because, like you were saying, the other counterparts to CBD as a cannabis derivative, you do have religious factors, you have government employees, military
Yeah,
that
sure.
can't take the products because they'll test positive for marijuana, as hemp and marijuana are both in the cannabis family. So, we did see a large growth in metropolitan areas first.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, there's also my father who is against CDB, but then, boomers as a whole, they are in this situation. And when we talk about boomers not being disrespectful at all, we usually understand that certain markets work better with millennials, Gen Zs, younglings, while others work better with older, more experienced people. But from as far as I know, CBD can be used by anybody starting from 21, 18, depending on the country, right? Until their doctor says otherwise. So, in terms of data, what can you share regarding the demographic of your target, of your market?
It's interesting you said that. We actually, in our weekly meeting, my business partner and I just went over a November survey that our customers completed, and I can pull it up. That has the demographic breakdown that was offered by them.
Oh, nice.
And so let me just grab
Take your
that
time.
really fast. So on the age scale, children, states, age. So our lowest age bracket is 18 to 24.
Uh huh.
And I'm not just taking on the survey. This is based on Google Analytics.
Sure.
We do see lower sales with boomers compared to our competitors, largely because we focus on
Mm,
stress, anxiety, and sleep, not pain, inflammation.
awesome.
And then we also, our branding is very millennial versus medicinal or pharmaceutical,
I see.
which a lot of CBD companies are branded as. So definitely our biggest chunk is 25 to 45. I'd even venture to 55. 50 is the new 40, right? So,
Yes.
I mean, I'm almost 40 and I feel like I'm, 28.
No, I hear you.
So yeah, it's really the millennial market that understands, what the term means and resonates with our more irreverent kind of Deadpool-esque brand archetype.
That was actually what I was gonna ask. So if we're talking about millennials and Gen Z being most of your target, we're talking about people who love storytelling and who loves customer loyalty. as long as you feed them the right spoon, right? How do you approach these? They're not issues, but how do you approach this side of the coin where you always have to keep them entertained and you always have to be top of mind so that another competitor won't steal your thunder in their mind?
Yeah, so fortunately, while we don't do a lot with original content, like we have really good
Okay,
UGC creators, but we're definitely not a content machine. But comparatively in our industry, we are a top content producer as
I
far as
bet.
funny videos and engaging content, because most of the other, you know, companies in the CBD THC space are more dispensary, more, like I said, pharmaceutical, medicinal
Hmm.
focused. So why I think we resonate with Gen Z and millennials is we take the anti-hero approach.
Yeah, and works.
Everyone tries to be perfect. We're the shining, glowing star.
Yeah,
We'll say like, look, we're not fucking perfect. Like
yeah,
John McClane, right? He saves the day and the diehards, but he's also divorced and an
yeah,
ex-alcoholic, right?
yeah,
Shrek, he's a big ugly ogre, but he saves the kingdom. And
exactly.
that's more reflective of us as a company and our customer base. It's like no one's perfect. You have these flaws, but it doesn't mean you can't like, save the day and do the right thing.
Ah,
So
that's nice.
that's more of like the edgy, irreverent nature of our branding that we feel like really resonates with our audience.
Makes sense. Actually, I was actually gonna ask you about why you chose this, but yeah, it makes total sense, like being the anti-hero.
Like the Deadpool of wellness.
Yes,
So
exactly.
everyone wants to be Superman and Batman, but we'll take Deadpools.
Yeah, I think Sonic 3 will come to the theaters soon enough, and Shadow will be on the movie, and Shadow is Sonic's anti-hero in the universe. And I saw so much buzz around Shadow being there because he's not a villain
Yeah.
nor a new hero. He'll kick ass, but we're not sure if he'll help Sonic at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that actually makes a lot of sense. And Shadow will be there to help Sonic, but I imagine that a lot of tools have been here to help you across this journey, involving marketing, involving customer experience, or anything else, of course. Can you share
Yeah, that
more?
leaks. Yeah, that leaks into our marketing. It gives us spaces of communication and advertising and marketing that our competitors can't really reach.
Hmm.
Like we could put up a Facebook ad that said, gummies to handle your drunk political uncle at Thanksgiving, right? But like
Yeah,
Charlotte's Web and Medterra, it wouldn't make conceptual sense. It wouldn't be in brand alignment if they made those types of Facebook ads.
yeah.
They're more polished, well-rounded, great origin stories, but completely different from our own. And so it gives us, that kind of meme-esque edginess, funniness that
Hmm.
really opens, if you're going to get a new customer, one of the easiest ways to bridge that gap with humor to get them to
Sure.
appreciate the brand before making a buying purchase. So humor is really a bridge to new customers that we lean on.
And when talking about humor, of course, being a Brazilian, that we have so many comedians back home, and now we are coming to a point where the line between what's comedy and what's hurtful is super thin, right? Did you ever came across any scenarios where try to cater
No, we
to
we
you?
tr we try to be edgy and brash,
Okay.
or edgy and irreverent, but not brash and offensive.
Okay.
So, there is a fine line between sarcasm and being irreverent,
Yeah.
exaggerating something that's normal. And so we do tote that line, but we don't go into the offensive or brash category.
And one question that I think everybody kind of might ask themselves is, if, let's just say, let's start with the US. If THC was finally legal, right? Because we've been talking about CBD so far, so let's step up the game.
Mhm.
Parents, please take your kids out of the sofa. But talking about what drives people to these products, right? The feeling of getting high, as we all say.
Mhm.
Of course, we all, especially with Trump being reelected, this won't happen anytime soon. But in a scenario where he maybe allows us, the Americans, to utilize it, how much do you see the market changing in terms of the established brands growing more and maybe more and more and more small ones arriving? But at the end of the day, have you ever thought
Yeah, there's
about this?
certainly, Trump was the one who signed the 2018 Farm Bill descheduling hemp. And all of the THC that we sell is derived from hemp, but it's chemically identical to the
Okay.
THC that you get from marijuana. There's a lot of, the biggest challenge now on the educational side is we sell THC gummies online across state lines, and it's legal and it's real. And people have a really hard time grasping that it's the same THC that
Mm-hmm.
they're getting in marijuana.
Yeah,
And it is. Delta 9 is chemically identical, whether it's derived from hemp and marijuana. It's actually the differentiating factor between the two plants that are
okay.
both in the cannabis family. So, as far as, national legalization, we'll cross that. We have too many other things to worry about. We'll cross that threshold when it comes.
Yeah,
As far as what will happen to the industry, I think there'll be a lot of consolidation. But we have a good customer moat. We have a lot of brand loyalty, and we treat our customers really well. And so, we'll just stand behind our brand and do what we've been doing. As far as innovation and regulation, that's what we want. We want more regulation. All regulation is going to do is, block those barriers to entry that a
sure,
lot of startups have. So that itself will create a moat, a bigger moat around what we're doing right now.
sure. Makes total sense. I
And
wasn't.
then one thing in the US, there is a big social trend of social tonics, whether it's functional mushrooms, psychedelics, or
Mm-hmm.
cannabis, replacing alcohol. We're seeing a lot of alcohol declining sales,
Okay. Oh,
and
that's
people are
interesting.
switching. People are switching. One of our best ads is, replace 3 glasses of wine with one gummy. You're not ingesting 500 calories and um,
You don't have a hangover in the next day.
now 18 ounces of liquid, and you don't have a hangover, and you've got 17 calories and a couple grams of sugar, right? Versus the latter. And so we are seeing a shifting trend. You see that with CANN, as a social tonic as well. It's really taken Hollywood by surprise as an alcohol replacement in the form of a ready for sale beverage.
No, that it is actually interesting. The cigarette market in the US, how is it currently?
I don't know anyone that smokes cigarettes,
Yeah, me neither.
and I rarely see people smoking cigarettes. I mean, it's something that doesn't even cross my mind.
They're
So
using a lot of vapes in the US, right, as well.
vapes, there's obviously the big Juul scandal, which is kind of awesome Netflix special. But
Mm,
yeah, vaping, and then in San Diego, whether allowed or not, like you can walk down the street and smoke a joint, as long as you're not doing it right in the cop's face. Like I've never had a problem with
yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I'm not saying that's legal, but I'm saying as far as like kind of how society perceives it, if someone's smoking a cigarette, people perceive that as significantly worse than smoking a joint or taking a vape hit, right? So,
Sure. Nicotine has more dangerous things in the system, as far as I've read, regarding when in
yeah.
comparison to marijuana.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in Portugal, at least, I think maybe because we're talking about a country who is kind of stopping time, stuck there, like in the 2005, 2006 eras, they're smoking a lot of cigarettes still. Vapes are becoming a thing now. There is, for example, one cannabis store right across the corner here, but it's the only one in the entire town. So we are still seeing a lot of places where this can develop outside of the USA, of course. And whenever people talk nowadays about developing a business, they talk about AI helping you with this business development phase. For you, has AI been helpful in any situation or scenario? SEO,
Certainly. Yeah.
content?
Yeah, it's a good bridge into SEO. So we do use it for content, both imagery, video, and SEO, written content. Of course, it's not copy paste, so it supplements. We have an
Sure.
in-house designer who's phenomenal, and we use AI as a backbone to save him time. We use AI as a backbone for our customer happiness team, for customer service tickets. As far as really interacting with customers, though, that's all human. So we're
Sure.
talking about
Always.
macros. We don't have anything AI interacting with customers.
Hmm.
Um, Probably not as significantly as we could be taking advantage of AI. But right now, there's not a lot of openings that we can see for how it would optimize us further.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe creating an AI experience where users could scan a QR code in the bag of the gummy and it would take them to a conversation with a lot of image generated that would get them, I don't know, crazy during the usage.
Yeah, the problem with AI for us is that the best features are largely tied to marketing and advertising,
Yeah, sure.
in which we're already really restricted. But while there's all these great AI split testing tools for, Facebook Business Manager or Business Manager for TikTok Shop, for content creation and distribution, we can't utilize it because it will inevitably create restricted content that is
Sure. Yeah.
restricted. So
Yeah.
we have to do that all manually right now. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Even we have a lot of link builders watching here. Even in the link building part, do you see like a difficulty in placing links over newspapers or other publishers who may not want to talk about it?
you know, we have an SEO agency that we work with,
Okay.
and so we have, organic link building as part of that, content building as part of that, schema and archetype,
Mm-hmm.
website architecture as part of that. So from a technical and content and backlinking perspective of kind of the three pillars of SEO, AI is involved, but not on the execution phase.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
makes
more
sense.
in research and developing,
Mm-hmm.
fun ways to engage in content that save us time.
Yeah, no, this not only does it make sense, but then again, I was in a conference some time ago and everybody was saying write human content, right? Don't use AI anymore. Don't write with AI anymore. You need authority. You need to be sure to show Google that you know what you're talking about. And there will never be anybody better than a user writing about the things you do, right? If
Yeah.
I,
And we will supplement, if we're looking for like three funny ways to reduce anxiety, certainly
mhm,
ChatGPT, would be
helps with
helpful for
that.
that. We do have a lot of content, but maybe Midjourney will be good for, some high quality lifelike imagery, especially as we roll out new products. But other than that, everything is checked by my co-founder sits in the SEO seat.
Okay.
So he's really the human hand that, flips the pages on the content that we're distributing.
No, it makes sense. That's actually one of the first things I have ever think when I talk to people is like, what about their content? How do they do it? How's their strategy? But that's what you said. That's what we've been talking about this entire conversation. It's about demographics, who buys, where they buy, why they use it, right? And then after that, then you can come up with content. But alas, I think we're almost at the closing stages here. The CDB industry is heading somewhere, usually heading, forward, right? But a lot of things can happen. With the current economical situations, with the current marketing situations, with AI, with conflicts, with the elections being super strong everywhere in the world, right? How do you see 2025 for your market specifically? Nothing happened besides what we have today. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we've like one of our unique selling props is that we've really just focused on stress, anxiety, and sleep.
Hmm.
And then that obviously, in a larger nutshell, refers to mental health. But right now, regardless of the presidency and how you feel, there is an epidemic of mental health crisis in the
Sure.
United States.
Sure.
People are more anxious. I honestly think it's social media, so
Yeah.
and phone addiction. I think most of it stems from there. And so, really working with the right partners, with the right creators, the right, subject matter experts. For us, we're just focusing on stress, anxiety, and sleep, and I don't think there's a shortage of that going
No.
into 2025. So that's what we
Mm-mm.
wanted to solve for ourselves originally, what we still deal with and what we can still relate to. And so that's what we're looking to help, other people with.
Sure. What you said about the current electoral situation in the US reminded me of American Horror Story season 8. Not sure if you ever watched it, but
I haven't.
I recommend it. It's on, I think it's on Disney Plus, which doesn't make too much sense, but still, it's on Disney Plus. And it is
Huh.
about the fear because of Trump's first election. So you have talks about mental health during the entire season that could be avoided if they had origamis, you know? So season 8 is all on
Yeah,
you.
And like I said, that regardless of what side you're on for the presidency, it goes beyond that. I think it's
Yeah,
really
sure,
just,
sure.
I honestly think it's social media addiction and people spending an average like 2.5 hours on their
Yeah,
phones, and especially for families. My question is, do you spend more time at the end of the day with your screen time or, face to face with your kids? That's, or your loved ones, right? So,
yeah, sure.
what we're focused on is just providing incremental benefits through our gummies and our oils to help people take the edge off and kind of reclaim that collected nature. And just be able to kind of disconnect from all the noise that the world spits out because it's always available, on the TV and on your phone. So it's
Hmm.
highly accessible. So just helping people out. That's the ultimate goal.
Amazing, amazing. That's great to hear. Anything next for you, for your company, for your life? Anything you'd like to
Yeah, we
share?
are. We're launching THC sleep gummies, and then we're
Nice.
also launching our first non-cannabis product, which is exciting.
It
So,
is.
it's two-pronged. One, we have a kind of a gap in our product SKUs, so it'll be an energy and focus gummy that's functional mushroom based, and yeah, that'll achieve two things. One, it's what our customer base has been asking for. Second, behind sleep gummies.
Hmm.
And second, it'll open up all of those marketing channels that have been restricted to us for 7 years. So we can put them on Amazon, we
Oh,
can put
that's
them
gonna
on
be
Google
brilliant.
PPC, we can put them on YouTube, we can advertise unimpeded on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, TikTok Shop, TikTok affiliates.
Amazing.
So that's really the next realm for us is moving into a different vertical than just CBD THC.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to see what happens. I know
And
that
we'd
my
actually be able to ship those to Portugal
That's
because all
what I
of our
was
other
gonna ask.
products,
I
yeah, all of
promise
our other
you.
products we can't.
That's what
So
I was gonna ask. My friends in Europe will ask, do you ship overseas? So currently nobody will in the future with the non-CDB versions. That
no,
it?
no, but we could ship you a bottle. I don't know that we'd expand. We were in the UK, which was a nightmare
Okay.
for a handful of reasons. A lot of like novel foods, GDPR.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of restrictions over there.
there.
Very expensive too. But yeah, we'll be able to ship our, just for situations like this, we do a lot of podcasts. We have a lot of creators that are in other countries, and even Canada and Australia, we can't ship to for risk of being seized at customs. So we need to respect international law, and we just keep, all of our products in the U.S. right now until the
Yeah.
functional mushrooms, and we can actually send something out. So
No, I understand, but it is painful to hear, yes, because I think a lot of people will be very excited to have some gummy bears by their doors in like 2 weeks from now. Right? But who knows? Who knows? The future
yeah,
is the
so
only
those
one.
should launch in Q1 after the holiday when this
Amazing.
is kind of subsided. So.
Amazing. Everybody, we need to, stay in touch with the things that are happening here to be sure to have those gummy bears here in Europe. Well, Bo, I don't think I have anything to add. I think we already talked a lot about Sunday scaries. This conversation has been amazing. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you
Happy to
taking
be
your
here.
time. Again, I'm super looking forward for the things that you're facing, the things that you will be growing in the future. We're talking about a very niche market, and everybody deserves to grow, not only Apple and Amazon, right? So let's go for it. Thank you so much again, Bo. Do you have anything else you want to say? Do you want people to follow you on your Instagram, LinkedIn? Do you want to, shout
Our
out
our
your
Instagram
handles?
is just at Sunday Scaries, no periods, no dashes, just at
Awesome.
Sunday Scaries. And if anyone, business owners, or agencies, or contractors want to reach out, they can always reach me at squad@sundayscaries.com is our partnership inbox.
And we'll
So,
put the information
okay.
in the description and in the posts as well. So everybody, just be sure to check every corner to understand where the informations are. Well, this is it. This is Victor. Thank you so much, Bo, again for being here. Everybody, thank you so much for viewing
Thanks for
and
having me.
watching what we're doing right now. I'll see you in the next time. Bye bye, Bo. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.